Today we are back on the Hermitcraft server, starting things off outside this guy, the gigantic dragon head in the Sahara headquarters. And I have to say, I still don't fully understand what the Dragon Bros is. You know, it feels like a cult, doesn't it? Okay, nobody seems to be talking about this, alright? And they assure me that it's definitely not a cult, but it feels like a cult, doesn't it? It really does. Anyway, I'm going to try my best not to think about that too much, because otherwise I'll start freaking myself out. Is there any way to exit this thing? I mean, I really do like everyone that's in this little cult. If there was any cult that I would like to be in, it would be this one, okay? Because, you know, everyone seems cool. But the whole not able to leave without dying thing, I mean, that doesn't sit too well with me. Anyway, to start things off in today's episode, we are going to be doing something that has been requested for months. Yep, many months. I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to do it. I am going to restock iron blocks. Or observers, I can't remember which one's which. Now, to do this, of course, we are going to need a ton of nether quartz, so it's time to grab a Fortune 3 pickaxe and go out for a bit of a mining session. Time-lapse chat time. But before we do that, I mean, I've flown about 2,000 blocks away. I still haven't found any nether quartz. I was kind of relying on finding nether quartz because my elytra is running low, so we could run into a problem here. Thankfully, we didn't. Just a couple hundred blocks further along, I took the risk. I decided to fly there, and there were just loads and loads of nether quartz. And the beauty of mending is that for nether quartz mining sessions, you don't have to worry about any durability of your pickaxe, your armor, your elytra, nothing. You are fully repaired all of the time. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that in today's time-lapse chat because there is something very, very exciting happening that you may have seen mentioned in Grian's videos and Iskal's videos, in that we have Sahara merchandise. Okay, people have been asking for Sahara merchandise ever since we created Sahara, and finally we have gone and done it. So there's all sorts of different t-shirts and various merchandise items available. I'll put links to them down in the description if you do want to check them out for yourselves. We also have a limited run of the Mumbo logo Sahara t-shirts as well. So you know the little one with the cactus, but it has a mustache and a Mumbo face? Yeah, that is only available for the next couple of days. So if you want it, I would highly suggest picking it up very, very, very soon, because it is going to be going off sale shortly. But I really do hope that you like them. I've got a handful of them myself, and yeah, they're lovely. They're really nice quality. I'm happy with them. I wouldn't be promoting them otherwise. So yeah, enjoy them. That's all I have to say. As you can probably tell, not very good at promoting merchandise, am I? I need to work on that. Anyway, nether quartz has been gathered. We've got one full shulker box and also a bunch in my inventory as well. This is the stuff that we're going to use to stock Sahara. This is my own personal stash. The only issue is I'm lost. I don't know how to get home. I'm fairly certain the nether portal is towards 0, so I'm just going to head in that general direction and hope for the best and not crash into any ghasts or lava. I just went through here. Oh my goodness. Somebody actually tried to trap me. I just wandered out of there and I somehow did not fall down here. That could have been so close. I wasn't even prepared. I didn't even think about it. I just heard the piston noise. Okay, now I'm nervous. And what's even more crazy is I can see TNT down here. I kind of want to go down there to see exactly what was planned. But man, I'm not sure. Maybe a little bit later, okay, when I pluck up the courage. Either way, I've disarmed it, so now I should be okay. Oh dear, it looks like the limiting factor for us stocking the observers is actually redstone as opposed to nether quartz. I've only managed to get this many stacks, which really isn't that good. But I have loads and loads of nether quartz left. And the witch farm isn't really fast enough. Do we go out and mine some? I guess we could go fully old school. I mean, we could do an old school. Yeah, let's go old school. You know, the most annoying thing about this gigantic dragon head that I'm wearing is the fact that I don't have any of my underwater enchantments anymore. So I don't have aqua affinity, I don't have respiration, I don't have anything, which makes doing jobs like this very tricky. Look, I forget how fast your water goes down. Or air, I guess it's your air. Yeah, your air goes down. Either way, I'm now successfully set up with a beacon in this area right here. I'm going to load it up with haste 2. and let's do a 1-hour mining session. And you know what that means? It means it's time for a third-person time-lapse. Because to be honest with you, I feel like we haven't been doing enough time-lapses lately. I can't actually remember the last time I did a time-lapse before this video. It feels like it's been absolutely ages. And in this time-lapse chat, I want to talk to you about something really interesting that actually happened to me over the past couple months, I guess you could say, in that I actually landed a job as a director of photography for a production company on a commercial shoot. So the director of photography is the person who is in control of the camera and kind of the creative look visually of a project. Okay, so that's what they do. They're in control of lighting, they're in control of the camera angles, the lenses that are being used and everything like that. Everything that you see on the screen is kind of planned out by the director of photography, and it gives the visual style of the piece. And I landed a job as a director of photography on a commercial, and I actually just recently released, it was for Haggerty Classic Car Insurance, and it was their Christmas advert. And I gotta say, I'm actually really proud of it. It released, I hadn't seen it, which was weird for me because obviously I only shot it, but I didn't do any of the editing or the color grading and things. And it looks quite pretty. I'm, you know what? I'm chuffed to bits with it, to be honest with you. So if you do want to check it out, I'll put all the details down in the description as well. Anyway, let's get back onto the Hermitcraft server, now fully equipped with redstone. So now, after multiple hours of work and a bunch of resource gathering, we are finally getting to the point where observers can actually be stocked. I gotta say, observers are crazy expensive, aren't they? They're probably one of the most expensive redstone components. I mean, look at this. I haven't even got a full shulker box worth, and I've almost run out of redstone again. I was about to say that I definitely drew the short straw here, but I realise now that Iskal stocked every other item in Sahara, so I suppose I'm probably not doing too bad. Oh! I have to be careful. Somebody has filled my water elevator thing with pufferfish. My base has been compromised fully. It makes me wonder if there's any other traps. Oh my goodness, look, someone's left polar bears in my base to attack. Oh no, that was me. This might just be one of... I mean, it's definitely ridiculous. It definitely gets their attention. It definitely informs them that I have actually stocked the observers. There's something about that face. I don't know what it is. It's just so disinterested. Oh, I'm 24. I should be laughing at this stuff. Which, by the way, happy birthday to me. It was my birthday on Sunday the 1st. Anyway, with that pressing task now completed and done, there is another pressing task that I really want to work on. Now, it's kind of been on my mind ever since, pretty much since we started building up all of the things for the city, and I've been humming and hawing about what I'm going to do with this area here. Okay, there's a big gap in this space. I said that I wanted to leave a little bit of it open. Originally, I said that I was going to build a boat dock, but I don't think that's quite right. I want to build a building that goes in this area here, and then that will actually finish up the city. So the area around my base will then be fully completed. Obviously, we can still add things to my base here and there. Don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to expand things further. I wouldn't actually mind sprinkling a few smaller buildings out and around this thing, maybe adding some extra beacons as well. But I can't do any of that until I've filled in the final gap. So we need to think of something to build here. We also then need to come up with a shape and then a design for what we're going to do here. So we need to think of something to build here, then think of a design for the thing we're going to build here, and then actually build the thing here. And not to put the afterburners on or anything like that, but we've only got about 5 hours to do it because I'm now recording this on the same day that I hope to release it, which is always absolutely terrifying. I hate doing that, but sometimes you have to because, I was lazy yesterday. Especially as I've just spent around about 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, trying to think of something to build here. I've also been on a run in that time to try and clear my mind. Nothing is coming to my head. I say we jump out of the usual builds and things that we do in my base area, and we actually focus on trees and nature. Yes, I am a very, very big fan of this idea. I like the idea of having something slightly different in my base. Whether we turn it into an industrial tree farm or some form of nature reserve, I haven't quite decided just yet. But all I do know is that this is going to be an L-shaped building. And of course, it is going to require plenty of cyan terracotta, of which... Oh no... I mean, I can buy this and then re-dye it. The only problem is it's way more expensive. I need to get 6 more diamonds. Oh, which, by the way, during my mining session earlier on, we managed to get, I think, around about 48. So we didn't do too badly there. Oh, and before all of you accuse me of stealing, look, this is me putting in the correct number of diamonds. Design-wise, I think I'm just going to freestyle this one. Now, bad things have happened in the past when I have said this, and I mean, I'm not ruling out the possibility of bad things happening today. I mean, I have this idea for a way to build it that I think could end up looking quite cool, which is kind of like these oblongs mixed in with the cyan terracotta and things like that. They're kind of like extended out windows. It's almost like a mix of this design and that design back there, but just a little bit more regular and repeating in terms of its pattern. I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see what happens here. I've almost finished up the front wall, so now let's fly out and take a look at how it's coming together. I've seen it when there's just 2 of them and I thought it looked cool, and I gotta say, I think it looks cool now. I'm a big fan of that. So now, next up, we need to work out what we're going to do with the other walls. I haven't really thought that far ahead. I've come up with another wacky strategy, and it involves extending a lot of this stuff out, and then kind of replicating what we have going on, but doing some rotations and having some on different axes and things. I'll explain that in a second. Can you kind of see where I'm going now? So we've got these ones, which are going to be vertical, and they're going to go up and wrap over the top of the roof. And then we've got a few vertical ones on the other side as well, over there. And then we're also going to have some horizontal ones going around this side, running up to this edge. The only issue that I ran into is that obviously I built the outline of this thing before I came up with this design idea. And that means that we are going to have this little thing here. But I don't actually think it will be that noticeable. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, now that I've told you it's going to be noticeable, and I'm definitely going to notice it because I know that I did it. But anyone just observing hopefully shouldn't notice. I've just come over to the concrete maker, and I mean, really? So it looks like the concrete maker has exploded. Green has fixed it, or at least done his best to fix it. Okay, well, I guess for now I will use the one in the industrial district. I will come by and I will fix this at some point. And I promise it will be soon. This is not going to be like Stalking the Observers, you know? I say it every single time I use one of these things, but they are probably one of the most satisfying machines in Minecraft. What an awesome change it was to introduce TNT actually dropping all of the blocks as it explodes. It also makes a lot of sense. Why was that ever not the case? I'm going to be honest, this is also fairly satisfying, just waiting for all of the concrete to just pop into my inventory. Also seems to be picking up quite a decent amount of iron as well while I'm sat here. Now we are going to need to make another purchase of terracotta at some point, but I just thought I'd take a look at how this thing is looking so far. Once again, now that we've got a lot of the roof elements in place and we have a lot of the vertical stripes, I guess you could say, vertical horizontal stripes mixed together, that looks cool as. And you really, I mean, unless you were looking for it, that line really isn't too bad. So I'm happy with that. I feel like we've covered that up quite nicely. But seriously, that looks really cool. That fits in so nicely with all the other builds in the area. That might actually be one of my favourite buildings in the district. I just really like how minimal it is. This is super cool. I'm so pleasantly surprised as I had zero plan. Absolutely none. Which I guess it all makes sense why I've built it like this, because if you look at the buildings behind it, I have clearly, very subliminally, taken elements of every single one of these builds and kind of merged it into this one. That is so interesting. I'm listening to an audiobook right now called Blink by Malcolm Gladwell, which is all about this stuff. So I'm acutely aware of it, and still it's happened right before my eyes. And yeah, as you saw, that was me double checking. It is Malcolm Gladwell, and I would highly recommend the audiobook. It's seriously interesting stuff. Another 6 stacks of terracotta and another 12 diamonds deposited here. How much does this system cost us? 24 diamonds so far? Goodness me. We're also back over here once again too, because not only have I run out of hardened clay or terracotta, I'm also out of hardened concrete too. Yeah, that's right. I consider my concrete to be hardened anyway. This building is now all finished and completed, and I really, really like the way that it looks, as I mentioned earlier on. I think it looks like it's kind of tied into knots a little bit. It's a bit of a strange one, but I think it looks cool. I was wondering how it would look on the edges, and that looks really good. That honestly makes me wonder if we should have more verticalness going on here. Yeah, I wonder if we drop those two down like that to, yeah, I think we should wrap these ones over the edge, because I love the way that this kind of corner section looks, despite the fact that it's covered in creepers right now. I've now built that. Let's see what happens. And spin around. I am far further away than I expected to be, but I really think that looks cool. I really, really think that looks cool. This is sweet. Cool, we went from having absolutely zero idea to actually having a really cool looking building. It's covered in mobs though. Lots of mobs. We should probably light it up. And now that I've gathered resources, it's even more covered in mobs. So I've had to do something. Because I don't really seem to carry a bow, and I don't seem to have a bow, I'm having to use a trident, which, I'm going to level with you, might just be one of the worst ranged weapons ever. I mean, it's just pants, isn't it? Look, that zombie despawned. He got so bored of me trying to attack him. It's like, this is taking far too long. I'm just gonna go, mate. Now, I've been thinking a lot about how I'm going to do the windows in this place, and I don't think I'm going to do any. The only places that I'm considering doing windows is maybe in the horizontal ones, just because things can spawn in there. But then we could run like a band. See, I don't want to ruin this look, because I really, really like this look. I think it looks super cool in here. I don't know what to do. Carpet. We're going to make use of carpet. I don't do this very often, but that is the perfect solution. 6 stacks of blue wool for mob proofing. Mumbo. I would say, yeah, that sums things up. I really don't know why I don't do this more often, because it's a super elegant solution to the lighting problem that I often run into in Minecraft, of wanting to stop mobs from spawning, but also not wanting to have loads of ugly lighting blocks around. Things like end rods. I mean, end rods aren't too bad as long as you kind of integrate them into the build. But sea lanterns, they can work, but generally they look a bit rough. Glowstone torches and all that sort of thing, it just becomes a nightmare, especially with super futuristic builds like this one. See? That's what I'm having to deal with right now. I mean, what's the best way to do this? I think having slabs around these edge parts is probably a good move. That will stop any mobs from spawning there. And then I guess I keep this going upwards, but it's going to be slightly off-center, and that's just going to drive me mad. Whatever. For the time being, this is just a prototype. I just need to make sure the floor is lit so I'm not completely destroyed by mobs later. Boom. Interior, all complete, all looking completely bonkers, and very, very empty right now. See, this is the problem, okay, because now that I've constructed this thing, originally I wanted this to have loads and loads of trees. I kind of wanted to have parrots in here flying around. I wanted to have animals in here and have it almost like a strange nature reserve type thing. That idea has kind of gone out the window because I just love the way this build looks, and I kind of don't want to obscure the view of it, because the inside is almost, I would say, cooler than the outside. It's really pretty. I know it sounds like I'm blowing my own trumpet quite a lot here, but I'm really proud of this thing, and the fact that I just built it freehand has impressed me. But as you can probably tell from the tone of my voice, I don't really know what I'm doing with it. I've built the outside, and now I have no plan of what to fill it with. To be honest with you, I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. I've been kind of itching my head for the past... Yeah, while I've been finishing it up, just trying to think if there's anything cool that I can think of that I could put in there that is different from my other plans. That was pretty cool, by the way, me flying in there. Anyway, I'm not going No, that was cool, wasn't it? Anyway, I have no plans, okay? That's what I'm trying to explain to you, and I want you to help me because you're smarter than me. Look, I said it, alright? You tend to have better ideas than me, okay? And I'm sure... We've got a lot of space here. I'm sure there's some cool things that we can do, whether it be a technical farm, whether it just be a house, whether it be... I don't know. I don't know. Alright? I just don't know, okay? Give me some ideas, please. Thank you. And also, go down to the description, check out all the things that I mentioned in this video so far. We've got the Sahara merchandise. That Mumbo Sahara tea is not going to be lasting very long. That goes out of stock today, I think. Don't quote me on that one. And then also that Haggerty car commercial that I made. It's worth checking out. See ya. One.